Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on today's car. Listen man, Chevelle 70 Super Sport Convertible. Hello, all the good stuff right here in this one. Good looking, rebuilt. Plus we're going to go around the car and I'll show you a few options on the car that you don't get on every Chevelle that's out there. Some of the stuff that does come standard, but you're going to see that this one here might be why it's part of the Flemings collection. Hopefully we can find a way to get it in your life. So real deal, flapper hood. Okay, all the Super Sports came with the domed hood, but everybody doesn't know that you just can't stick stickers on here. This is part of the cowl induction setup, and although you can put stickers on a regular domed hood and it looks nice, this right here takes it to a whole nother level. So let's start with the quality of the paint. It's a real cranberry red car, cranberry red paint. Unfortunately, it's difficult to see in the red font, but look how clear and crystal the black is. And what I want to point out also too is that you can't even feel the stripes in this car. And the reason that's important is that you want to paint the car, the base coat red first. You want to wet sand it and buff it. And then you want to lay on the black, wet sand that and make sure it's smooth. And then you want to clear all the top surfaces. Actually, you're going to clear the whole car, but let's just say you want to clear the top surfaces so that you can wash and wax this car without worrying about these stripes ever tearing out and sitting up higher than the rest of the paint, because eventually they would wear out. But now that they're under the clear, they'll be protected for as long as the rest of the car is too. Hood pins, you got the double lights here for 1970. This car here, all new headlights, headlight bezels, bumpers, grille, emblems, marker lights, tag bracket, stainless around the windshield, bucket seats, console, on and on and on, and you get some great stuff. All right, so inside here you got your original Super Sport wheels, all right, wrapped in the BFG radial TAs. Now listen, if you're going to show this car nationally, you're going to need to change these to bias ply tires. We can do that for you here. I'd even buy back these BFGs and put them on the car if you want to. But if you want the car to drive really nicely and you're not going to go to national shows, maybe you're just going to go to local shows or go to the beach or go out with the family, just want something to cruise to work in, then I'd say leave these on because they're going to make the car drive so much better, all right? It's probably one of the best advancements in automotive history was the radial tire. For those of you that have never driven on an old style bias ply tire, in the winter, they're really stiff and cold. They don't like cracks in the road. They tend to wander. They're noisy. They get flat spots. The radial just makes driving, I'm telling you, and I'm not exaggerating this number, 50% better. All right? Okay, so inside here is power disc brakes. A lot of times we forget to ask about those things. Does the car have power steering? Does it have power disc brakes? This one has both. This one also has the F41 suspension on it as well, which is a sway bars front and rear, so it's going to handle a lot nicer. And the fact that it's a convertible, this car here makes a little more power than it would have come from the factory, and it sounds spectacular. So it's kind of the best of both worlds for me. It's got the original style 396 in it, right? But now it's in the 400 plus horsepower range, and I get everything that I want. So I got some great power, great sound, but drivability, and I can go cruising for hours and hours if I want to, all right? So I've rambled on about some of the accoutrements here. How about we take a peek under the hood and you can look at some of the detail there, okay? All right, let's take a peek under the hood. All right, so the things you should be looking for: original style exhaust manifolds, power steering, power disc brakes, okay? The original cowl induction air cleaner with the correct vacuum solenoids and things like that in place, all right? Washer bottle is new, battery topper. It's just detailed nicely in here so that you can go to a show, open the hood and not be embarrassed. Little things I like to make sure of, I make sure that the horns work on the cars, that the lights work and the turn signals and all those good things, because I want the experience to be the turnkey. You know, you can buy a car anywhere, but once you get it to where you really want it, you're gonna have to do all the things that I've already done to the car for you, and that's why I think that this is really the best way. For guys like you who are super busy, you don't have time, or maybe you don't know how, or if you do know how, you don't have the time. You know, they always have a saying, like the detailer's car is always the dirtiest car, the mechanic's car is always broken down, because these guys just don't have time to work on their cars. I say for people who are into this hobby here, a lot of us don't really have the time. We have kids, we have business lives, we have, you know, wives, families, whatever, a lot of stuff going on, and we don't have time to rewire a dash, paint a body, you know, install an engine. This is not what we do. We're out there doing our thing, and this is how we get our recreation and our therapy. We put a key in it and drive it, and that's what I'm trying to offer you. Okay, cool. So what I did was I took the mat out of the trunk so you could see how nice the floors were. See how nice and deep the ridges are? They're not filled with body filler. It's painted and speckle painted the correct color. It's got an original style bias ply, full-size tire, and the jack is all detailed as well. Jacking instructions here, posi-traction warning here, painted nicely in here, new weather stripping, okay? All of this stuff working like it should, all right? Bumper pads right, correct tips. Just everything just looks really, really nice on this car, and there's so few convertibles out there, you know, that sound as good as this car, not to mention just so few convertibles as well. One thing I wanted to show you real quick, if we can look down here, okay? Did you see the sway bar hanging down below? On the rear there, that's the F41 suspension. It's got a nice footprint of tires there, new shocks, new brakes, all that good stuff is all there. And of course, new rear bumper, lenses, those kinds of things. Okay. Okay, let's check out the inside. But the one thing I wanted you to hear real quick is this is a convertible. Convertibles tend to, if they're not restored properly, the doors don't open well and things like that. But I want you to hear this car because it's important. Listen. Listen. The door opens beautifully. It doesn't sag, the body isn't crooked, it's not an ugly, worn out car. It's a nicely restored car. Here's how you know a couple of things about the car that you know they're restored properly. First off, does the Footwell lighting work? You say, well, Tone, what's the big deal about the Footwell lighting working? Well, first off, probably a few years after it was new, it didn't work anymore. Then you have to go in and rewire the whole thing, get the bulbs, get the sockets, get all that in there. How about the console here? Check this out. The console light, it's working as well. That's a nice sign for the restoration. Lots of room in the back for people, okay? So you got the great Super Sport dash, you got original AM, FM stereo, okay? Obviously there's a power convertible top, new switches, emblems, handles, window cranks, kick panels, vent pull knobs. If you want to, we can install an AM, FM CD sound system in the glove box, which we do for a lot of people. This way it's hidden and it doesn't change the nice old school dash if you don't want. Okay, it's just a really, really nice car. Let me tell you what, driving with a top down in a muscle car makes a big, big difference. And one thing I want you to know why is because of this. Once I start it, you'll hear. So check out this. Okay, so we're going to close up the video of this. I just want to highlight a couple things real quick that you may have forgot about by watching the video, but if you're looking at other cars out there, remember this is the real deal 396 Chevelle convertible. It's got the cowl induction hood. It's got the F41 sport suspension with the sway bars front and rear. New shocks, all new pieces and front end parts there. It's got the correct Super Sport wheels on it, the hood pins. It's got the right console, buckets, gauges, all those things that make for a wonderful, wonderful car. Got a new convertible top and the frame is painted, and just I could go on and on and on, but what I really wanted you to know was that in the world of great muscle cars, this could be one of the best ever, and it's turning out to be the most collectible because it's got some room inside as well. You can take your family out, you can take another couple out, you can go for a ride. I'll tell you, man, if you can find a way to get this great sounding Chevelle Super Sport convertible in your life, call us, 301-816-1000, and we'll tell you all about it.